Good evening, everyone. Matrix here, and here's my watch list for February 12th. Taking a look at the futures right now, we are gapping up huge. So, gapping up huge, we have surpassed the prior resistance, and now it actually opened and dipped and held this prior resistance area of 2720. So I think tomorrow, because of this gap up, I am looking for a little dip to hold at 2721, and then from there we'll take another rip up to the upside. That's what I think the market will do, but obviously my opinion does not matter. It just from a technical standpoint of view, the market is looking overall bullish, and it definitely does have a potential to rip tomorrow. Um, from here, 27.25, that would probably hit some sort of a resistance and pull a little bit, but I highly doubt it's gonna reject all the way and dump. Um, Anyways, that's my take on the futures. Let's take a look at the SPY real quick. What does that mean? 272. Wow, we are gapping way up. So basically, we are in this area at 272 here. And yeah, if it gaps up and over 272, let me take a look at the futures again. Oh, we're over the 272. So we are over the 272 right now, somewhere around this area. So I'm looking for a dip to hold 272 and then rip, test the highs again. And yeah, that's how it looks like on the market. On a side note, notice that I have the IWM here. This is the Russell 2000 small caps. A friend of mine really likes to trade the ETFs, and especially the Russells. And I want to make a really quick technical watch here, technical analysis of this ETF real quick before I move on into my watch list. So basically, for the past few days, we see the Russell running up, and then every time it try to come down, it gets bought right back up. You see these wicks, it gets bought right back up. Okay, today it dipped and held the 9 EMA and ran again and closed on its highs, keeping a lot of its gains, right? On the intraday side, we have late day buying here, so people are anticipating a spike out the gates. Will they sell? I definitely don't know if they will sell at the open, especially with the market being so strong right now. We should be getting a gap up. Resistance area, I mean, we're looking at the 150, 150s-ish, but that's still a long way to go. And we might gap up right up over there. To me, it looks like it wants to break out of, or at least test these highs here at the 154. So tomorrow, if it holds this 151, it's definitely gonna rip. With that said, let's take a look at the watch list real quick. I have 3 tickers for you today. Stay tuned and watch to the end of this watch list, and I will show you one of my trades that I took a quick recap on ATVI today. However, let's go with EA first. EA is still in play. We have massive volume here. Shot right back up after hours due to an analyst coming out with a buy rating, Baird. They came out with a buy rating targeting the 106 mark. The news catalyst is that their newest game, called Apex Legend, after 10 days of launch, it has reached 25 million users in 10 days. That beats out Fortnite by a lot. Like Fortnite took about 6 months to reach the 25 million user mark, and this new game that EA came out with, Apex Legends, hit that mark in 10 days. Okay, what I am looking at is the 107. Okay, the key psychological whole number, I'll be watching for triple top here as it comes up. Okay, there's a few points I want to talk about. Um, First of all, because of this after hours run, a lot of shorts that piled in today are in major pain right now. Whoever is good enough to get short on here at the 107 doesn't have anything to worry about just yet. Personally, I missed this double top mainly because the stock was shooting up at the 2019 highs, and there was really no key resistance point until 110. I was looking for 110 to reject, but it never got there. And last night, I was looking for, I didn't anticipate 100 to be gapped up and over. Anyways, looking at this intraday chart right now, I mean, if I missed this short, I did get in short today at around the 135 area at this level. I got in short and I wrote it down, and I covered up around this area right here. However, I mean, a lot of shorts piled in. They could have piled in from this VWAP rejection right here. They could have piled in here at this lower high mini double top right here, and they haven't covered yet. Some people could have piled in here at the key number of 101. 101 coincidentally is the pre-market high. So let me zoom out a little bit. As you can see, it's the pre-market highs right here. So this is a key area. And this is where I got short. I got short around this area as I saw the pre-market area snapped, tested, and failed. This was a sign of weakness to me. And then I waited for it to come back up, retest this 101 pre-market highs, and failed again. This really proved weakness to me. So on the next lower high or on the snap of this support area, I got short right about here and I wrote it down. Okay. So just taking a look at here, I mean, people could be piled in short in this area because I personally, I'm not even that great of a trader, and I got in short here. I saw this. This was a very easy play. And a lot of shorts are jammed in here right now, and it doesn't look like they have covered into the close, right? There is no massive pop into the close. This little squeeze after hours have all these shorts in pain, and they are dying to get out tomorrow. With that said, whoever bought this up run here, they are looking for they will either take profits at the open, which causes the stock to drop, right? And then as the stock drop, these shorts will have a chance to cover and cut losses. The news catalyst is positive, and it looks like the overall market is having a good reaction to it. So I'm looking for dip and rip for the shorts to cover at this 101 area, okay, as well as buying momentum. People who miss this move will try to get in cheap and buy it up. And I also want to talk about the support area of 102 as well. It might not even come down as close to the 101 as I like, even though the 200 SMA is right here on the intraday chart. 102 is a very key area as we opened literally up right at 102 at this 930 mark, right? So this 102 is where the stock shot up, okay? And I think 102 has significance as well. Coming over here, I mean, pre-market, if it keeps going up, then these shorts are done. They right at the bell, they will look to cover and causing this thing to squeeze. Like I said before, I will be watching the highs of today because this is the only significant resistance left before the stock breaks out and keep running. And for the past couple of days, we see that this stock EA does have the potential to run massive points. All right, so either we look for a dip, hold, and rip, or pre-market, it just keeps going up. and maybe out the gates they'll come here. I might take a quick short down to the 105 or test this and then ride it right back up. I do like the target of this 200 SMA here as well as 110. So that's my thesis on EA. Next up, we have CGC. CGC is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I totally missed it today. Looking on the intraday chart, it's hard to find an entry point, to be quite honest. I mean, as I was seeing it, maybe right here would have been an entry point. This this little pop and fade here could have been an entry point, right? Let's zoom in a little bit, but that's besides the point, right? What I like about CGC is basically it has snapped the key support of $45 on the daily chart, right? As you can see, 45 held support for the longest time over here. It was key prior resistance. As I zoom out a little bit more, I mean, look at this 45 area. So what does this mean? This means that 45 is a very key psychological level for a resistance mark, right? Now, as you can see right now, shorts piled in and they haven't covered yet, right? Even though after hours, we saw that it's down printing a little bit. It did try to come back up after hours, but it just didn't have enough volume. I mean, shorts kind of covered here. We are coming to a possible triple bottom. So taking a look at this area right here, we might find support here tomorrow. Okay. But I'm looking for a pop and drop. Okay. I'm looking for a test of resistance at 43.50. As you can see, 43.50 played very well right here in the morning. This was a key support area that snapped, and the stock did try to get back up. I mean, this area 43.25 would be the next closest resistance, but since after hours we did get some prints that went above 43.25, I'm going to use 43.50 as my first resistance area that I'll be looking for rejection, and then I'll also use the whole number of 44 as well. Okay, maybe even 43.75. So we have quite a bit of resistance marks here, and to actually play these weed stocks, we can also bring in MJ, the ETF MJ, real quick. Now, I'm looking at MJ. Let me blow this chart up a little bit right here. On MJ, this is the ETF for weed, and we see that the ETF itself has snapped key support, prior support of 34, and also snap this very key double bottom, triple bottom, or whatever bottom, how many multiple bottoms you want to see. This area right here. Okay, I got the line perfect now. Zooming in, see how it tested so many times and then it finally snapped, and then late day it tried to test and failed again. This is a proof of weakness right now, right? Prior support now becomes resistance, and resistance it did, right? I'm looking for a continuation downside on CGC, also using MJ as a guide that it will keep continue to fail to the downside. On the daily chart on MJ, we might or might not get a bounce here tomorrow at 33, right? But we have snapped key support. Maybe a pop into the 34 again, right here on this horizontal line, and then a fail. So I am looking for a pop and drop. This ETF itself is looking very weak. It looks like it's gonna have another day down, so like a little pop and a drop, bring it right back down to the 200 right here, this pink line, or the 32 area. Okay, so that's CGC. Finally, we have ATVI, the third stock that I'll be watching. Now, ATVI, I took a nice trade on it, but let me give you the thesis on it first. ATVI is announcing earnings tomorrow after hours, and with a lot of these stocks, we see is that they usually tend to sell off a couple days ahead of earnings, especially with ATVI. Looking at the overall daily chart, it's so weak, right? I do like the stock for another day to go down. It has, however, filled this gap right here, in 2016. Okay, it hit the $40 mark just as I planned. And after hours, it did come back up just a little bit. So what I want to see is a pop and a drop, a rejection of the 41 to 41.10 area, and from here I'll be looking for a rejection signal and then short it right back down and target the 40, maybe a little bit even more. So we're looking for a pop and drop. If it reclaims 41 and starts holding, then it's a long and you can ride it back up. Maybe ride it back up to the 42.50 area. That would be the next daily level. Okay, we have resistance at 42 and 42.50, so mark those off. And that's my main watch list for tomorrow, just the 3 tickers. And the reason why there are only 3 tickers is because tomorrow at the open, we are anticipating earnings from Shopify, which is a pretty nice ranger on earnings day. Shopify can run massive points, and UA, Under Armour, is announcing earnings pre-market tomorrow as well. So I'll be watching those two to add into my watch for tomorrow. So as I promised, I'm going to talk to you about this trade I took on ATVI today. I was actually mainly playing EA today, but on the side watch, I did keep ATVI on, and I did put ATVI on my watch list. Looking at this, totally missed out the short at the open at the rejection of 44. I mean, it basically dumped. It had very defined risk here pre-market. Pre-market highs was at the 44 area right here. So it had very defined risk. Okay. Looking over here on the daily chart, as you can see, the 44 mark was a pretty key level as well. So I was pretty bummed about missing that, but I kept it on watch still, and it didn't look like it gave me another chance to short until this happened. I looked over and I saw basically the 41 snap right here. Okay. And then I saw it fail and come all the way down and hit this low at 40.25. Okay. So this is the day's low. And then I was watching it come back up to the 41 and fail again and keep on failing. So let's zoom in right here. See how it came back up to the 41 area and just kept failing. So basically, I took the trade. You know what? I can just load it up right here on my settings. Load drawings, ATVI. I plotted it for you. I took the trade right here at 12:38 on this candle, on this little pop-up candle right here. You know what? Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay. So as I basically saw this low and I marked it off. I saw how it got stuffed at 41 earlier. It breached, got stuffed, made the low, came back up to 41, got stuffed again. And then as I was watching this, it basically made a very clear resistance mark, right? It kept getting stuffed at the 41, and my risk was 41.10. So 10 cents above 41 was my risk. And basically the thesis was I'll get short as close to this area as possible. And I had about 10 to 15 cent risk, and I'll ride it all the way down to $40.25. So from 41 at 75 cents to the downside and 10 cents to the upside, almost 7 to 1. All right. So I got in short right here. As this rejects, my average was $40.95. As it came down, I saw this support zone right here at 40.75-ish, as you can see. So right here, there was support. I was watching this and I had this mapped out. That's why I paid myself at this arrow. Once it snapped, I paid myself half. And then for the rest of the half, I basically just held, and I was waiting for my target to reach. My stop was a very clear $40.13. Actually right here. All right, ATVI is I think the spread is about 1 to 2 pennies, so it was pretty safe. And basically, I held it all the way. I set a hard stop because I was trading EA at that point. I paid myself here, and basically it just chopped it up and around this $40.50 area. $40.50 right here. It teased me a few times, but it held. I saw this hold. Basically, prior resistance now becomes support. Okay, so it held support, came back up, held support again, came back up, made a lower high, and then finally breached, but it got reclaimed right away, teased me a little bit some more, and start holding this 40.50 level. As it was holding the 40.50, I had to go to work today. I have to be at work by 4 o'clock. So once I saw this reclaim and starts holding, it finally breached again. And I'm like, okay, we have a prior support area. I've been waiting long enough. I need to get to work. So I covered out, and basically that was it. That was my trade from 41 to 46, 40s. I had 60 cents in gains. It never reached my target, unfortunately. Looking at this chart right now, had I not have to go to work, I think I would have held it. Wouldn't you say so? Because the target was right here, right? And it actually reached. So I got out just a tad too early, but I did hold this trade for a long, long while. What was the exact time that I got out? Let me show you. I got out on this green candle right here. All right. So 222, my entry, 12:38. So almost an hour and a half that I held this trade for. Unfortunate that I couldn't capture this whole move because I had to go to work, so it is what it is, but that's my trade recap. If you like my watch list, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. That's it for tonight. I'll see you guys all bright and early tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Ciao.